Hey Dragonlings. It's been a while. I have a whole lot of excuses, but I don't want to explain them. Instead, I wanted to chat with you while you watch me write some of my thoughts about my recent reread of Rachel Aaron's 2K to 10K. I adore this book, and I try to read it at least once a year, and luckily for me, I read and annotated my paperback copy in January, and now have to transfer all of my notes to my reading journal, which I'll hopefully be filming a flip through of soon. This year has already been hard for me, as I've been working in what feels like hell. I've had 9 days out of the 24 I should have had off since the year started, quit one job, am starting a new one in April, and am just burnt to a crisp mentally and emotionally. I'm recording this voiceover in March, so I haven't started the job yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I've done any real writing. I've tried. I've continued hosting 10K days with Tamara Woods as I could because I wanted to write, but most of the time I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Not to the extent I'm used to. And those 10K days have pretty much been the only days I've written since October of 2021. I spent the last couple of months of 2021 preparing for this year, and then my job made most of those plans pretty much impossible. I spent a lot of time the past couple of months questioning everything about myself where writing is concerned. I haven't felt like writing, even when I've had a chance to. I'll open a document and stare at it because I'm so burned from work mentally that I have no spell slots left for writing. All of this has led to feelings of anxiety, depression, imposter syndrome, failure, and everything that comes with those things. I have not been clinically diagnosed with either anxiety or depression, but TikTok seems to think I have both, and I show many symptoms of them. I tear up my nails and cuticles until they're raw and bleeding when I'm worrying about things. I've started doing my nails again with the hope to stop this, and as long as I'm wearing nail polish, I'm fine for a bit, because my brain latches onto the fact that I don't want to ruin them, and I mess with them less. Then there's the feeling of being utterly alone. Writing is a lonely hobby, and while there's lots of live streams and friends more than willing to chat about things, I have rarely had the energy for such, or our time schedules haven't matched because time zones are a bitch. And let me tell you, crying in the shower works wonders when you're not where you want to be in life, not able to provide enough for your family, and drowning in debt. But I haven't been able to do a lot of the one thing that usually helps me the most: writing. Not journaling, which would help me release some of my fears and anxiety, or even fiction writing so I can tell fun stories about monsters falling in love and produce more books. Even when I've had the time to write, I'll stare at my work, stories that I was once excited to dive into, and be filled with a sense of disgust. Not at the work, but at myself, because I can't bring myself to put my hands on the keyboard and type the words that flood my brain. Any words. Throughout February, my days consisted of sleep, work, and wrestling practices and matches when I could go to them, and that was it. I read a handful of books, mostly audiobooks, while at work, and I watched movies until I fell asleep because my brain was nothing but mush. But I haven't written, leading me to question more and more every day. Am I a writer? Am I an author? The second question is actually easier to answer than the first, believe it or not. I am an author. I have works published, and while I'm not making a ton of money from them, I don't think I've made more than $5 on them in all of 2022, I can't complain. They're out for the world to read and review and judge. Am I a writer, though? That one feels a little harder to answer, especially when I look at how much and how often I've written since October 2021. Possibly even before that. A demon rides my shoulders daily and tells me I'll never amount to anything. A monster stares back at me in the mirror and whispers I might as well end it all. Bills pile up on the coffee table and cause me to stay with jobs that leave me dead inside. They all tell me I'm not a writer. So, am I still a writer, even though it's been months since I really wrote anything worth keeping? I wrote 10,177 words in January during the January 10K Tuesday, and that was the only day I wrote that month. I tossed all of them. The same thing happened in February. I wrote one day, on the 10K day, and I completed a whopping 90 words that I was unhappy with. I would like to complete March's 10K Tuesday. I would like to write some words that I actually want to keep, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I know what I need to get done, and I can already tell you that it's not happening. I have plans to work on a fun project instead, just something to help me get back into the flow of writing again. There's no telling if it'll work or not, but I'm willing to try. Am I a writer? Yes. Yes, I am. I don't care what the demon on my shoulder says. I don't care what the monster in the mirror whispers. Just because I haven't written in a while, it doesn't mean that I'm not a writer. It's something I have to constantly tell myself. Back before I got a full-time job, I'd been working on freelance work part-time and author-related activities full-time, and had been since January 2019. Since getting a job this past December, a lot of my author tasks have been abandoned. I've had to accept that it's okay. It happens. I have to tell myself, quite often, that it doesn't make me any less of an author. It doesn't make me any less of a writer. The small voice inside my head telling me I'm not good enough, that I'm a failure, that I'll never amount to anything as an author can shut up. I don't have to listen to it. I also have the power to change it all. In an effort to get more control over my life, I realized I needed to switch up a few things. First, I needed to stop thinking of freelance as part-time work and my author business as full-time work. Not if I wanted to actually have some time to spend with my family and pets. Now I'm going to be calling freelance work part-time work and only up to 10 hours a week, if that. And my writing is going to become a hobby again, a way for me to wind down in the evening before bed. As of this recording, I only have a small handful of clients for freelance work, and I won't be taking on any more for a while. All their work was put on hold when my life became too hectic, but I'm ready to jump back in and knock out their projects. Most are one-and-done type jobs, so that I can be free to focus more time on the one client that's going to be more constant, as well as my own work. After I allowed myself to accept that writing will be more of a hobby than a job, I had a sense of freedom I hadn't before. Do I still need to get various things done? Yes, but there's a difference in needing to get it done by a specific deadline and getting it done when I can. I've never been really good at deadlines. I'm the epitome of the quote from Douglas Adams. I love deadlines. I love the whooshing sound they make as they fly by. It's probably one of the many reasons why I've failed most of the writing challenges I've tried. That and biting off more I can chew, of course. But just changing how I think about writing, publishing, and freelance work wasn't enough. I needed to figure out how and when I was going to work on things. For that, I needed help. A while back, I purchased a digital copy of the HB90 planner because I wanted to try it out, but I couldn't figure out how to use it exactly. It's been sitting on my computer until I could take the course that went along with it. Sarah Cannon at Heart Breathings offers a 7-day course called the HB90 Bootcamp that helps teach how to rethink about goals, priorities, and what you want out of life, and goes in depth about how to use the HB90 planner. I've been wanting to take it since I first learned about it, but I haven't been able to bring myself to do it, mostly because of funds. Lo and behold, just when I really need to take the course, I suddenly have the funds to take it, thanks to the fact that I'm working all these hours that are slowly frying my brain. I probably should have used those funds for another bill we're behind on, but I needed help with planning and I had the money. Plus, I got a discount because I've purchased the Publish and Thrive course in the past. I still haven't finished that course, but maybe someday. Although I missed all the live chats that dealt with the HB90 course, because they happened while I was at work, and in the evenings around the time when the girls went to bed, I watched the daily videos, a new module unlocked each of the 7 days. Sometimes it meant staying up well past midnight to watch and rewatch videos to figure things out, but I think I managed to come up with a solid plan. I'll be using Q2 to figure out if the HB90 system will work for me. If it does, I'll continue using it in the future. If it doesn't, well, at least I'll be able to say I tried it. Thanks to the boot camp, I have a clearer idea of what I want from my life and future, and I'm set up for this quarter. I know what I want to accomplish, and I've made action plans to reach my goals. I've set up Notion as my Kanban board this quarter, just because I want to try out Notion and see how I like it. I'm still playing with the program, but I'm really hoping I use it often enough that I can justify continuing its use in the future. I've also begun adding information to my Notion board about my books, so that it's all in one place and handy to get to as necessary, especially when it comes time to upload and publish books. I like having everything in one place rather than some information here and other parts there. If I can make it work the way I want, my Notion is going to be a smorgasbord of information dealing with my books and series. I just need to figure it all out. Now that I'm switching jobs and have reassessed everything I need and want to do, it's only a matter of getting them done. I'm ready to get back into writing and publishing again, because I am a writer, and I am an author.